welcome to the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, the location for today's race. The cars are out on the grid, so let's join the action down on the track. We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Norris, Ocon, Ricciardo, Bottas, and Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly, and Joe, Magnussen, Albon, Sebastian Vettel, and Lance Stroll. Latifi and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
You're currently in P13. Gasly's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Okay, Zhu's behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 8.2 seconds. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Gap to the car ahead is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. Your last lap time was a 1:23.4. Good job. You're gaining by a full second a lap at the moment. Is at 1 minute 21.6. Ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. Time last lap was a 1:22.7. This is excellent stuff. You're closing in by 7/10 a lap. That's us in 10th position. Alonso's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh softs. And Schumacher's behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 9.1 seconds. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. seconds. By 10.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in first. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 22.2. Verstappen's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 7.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Ocon's behind you. Okay, they're on old softs. The distance to the leader is 10.5 seconds. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 7.7 seconds. Ocon behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. Your last lap time was a 1:23.9. That last lap was a 1:23.2. Sat in 6th. It's Verstappen ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 8.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Ocon's behind you. Our gap behind is 1.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 12.7 seconds. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. Okay, gap ahead is 9.1 seconds. We're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on stop. Verstappen's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 8.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. Time last lap was a 1:22.6. And you're closing by 0.4 a lap. Keep it going. About the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 8.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 13 laps old. Okay, we think they've got at least 3 more stops. And the time last lap was a 1:22.6, which is great Great stuff. We're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work. Our gap to the car in front is 7.6 seconds. In this lap, push now. We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap. Ahead is 11.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in first. Your last lap time was a 1:22.8. Hamilton's in the pits. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. You're running P9, keep going. Alonso ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 5.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Ocon behind. Okay, the gap behind is 5.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 32.5 seconds. Your pit window will open in 14 laps time. Charles is in for his stop now. And the gap behind us is 6.3 seconds. By 9.6 seconds. You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff. Ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 5.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1 minute 21.2. Ahead is 5.2 seconds. Verstappen ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 4.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Ocon's behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 9.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 8.5 seconds. Okay, your pit window opens in 9 laps time. Gap ahead is 5.0 seconds. car in front is 6.1 seconds. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 5.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1:21.8. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Front is 5.2 seconds. Behind. Our gap behind is 12.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. The last lap time was a 1:22.6. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 5.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:21.9. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Front is 5.4 seconds. sat in 6th. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, gaps on the car ahead is 5.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Ocon's behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 13.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. The distance to the leader is 9.3 seconds. The pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. We've still got 45 laps to complete here. And you're going to be on mediums. The car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it. Information on Verstappen. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. Condition still looking good. It's Verstappen ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 5.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. So the time last lap was a 1 minute 22.3. Right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. Boxing this lap, give us the best in lap you can. 7 seconds. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit or receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, clear. Charles is in the pits. Okay, so the car ahead's come in and fixed the soft tyre. And the gap behind us is 17.6 seconds. Hamilton has just put in the fastest lap of the race so far. We're currently trailing our teammate by 8.6 seconds. Gap to the car in front is 3.3 seconds. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Last lap time was a 1:20.6. car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form. Ocon behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 19.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 8.8 seconds. And that's 20 laps until your pit window's open. 37 laps to go. Seconds. Ocon's behind you. Our gap behind is 20.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 21.6. Ahead's beginning to pull away, you know what to do. I've got information on Albon for you. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car. safety car's out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Be careful. Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. All right, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy. Perez ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are just one lap old, and the time last lap was a 1:41.9. let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, they're on old softs. Our gap to first place is 1.9 seconds. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Okay, 30 laps till the end now. Verstappen's ahead of you, and the gap to the car in front is 1.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 21.9. Okay, you're dropping back by around 2 tenths each lap. Been enabled. DRS is now enabled. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Hamilton behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They've done 14 laps on those tyres now. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was 1:21.9. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, your pit window opens in 9 laps time. And 26 laps to go now. This is 4.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:21.0. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. car behind is 5.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. Your last lap time was a 1:21.1. Okay, so the last lap time was a 1:20.6. Behind is 5.4 seconds. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. Okay, 22 laps left. By 18.1 seconds. Tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Perez is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 5.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:21.2. issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Perez behind, and the gap behind us is 6.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 21.4. Open, so let's box this lap. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Ahead. Okay, gaps of the car ahead is 3.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. That's Hamilton behind. Okay, so the gaps of the car behind is 3.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, gap to leader 15.0 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. All right, 16 laps to go. Gap behind is 4.0 seconds. Verstappen's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. The last lap time was a 1:20.6. The car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it. Okay, you've got P3, well done. It's Verstappen ahead, less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. That's Charles behind. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 10.9 seconds. Look after these tyres now, you want to finish the race on this compound. 13 laps to go.
Oh, this is not good.
Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Tyre condition still looking good. Ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 10.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 22 laps on those tyres. Time last lap was a 1:21.1. Alright, at the moment you're losing 0.3 a lap. Come on, dig in. front is 9.9 seconds. They're on old mediums, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. Gap to the car ahead is 9.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 24 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:21.2. Okay, so you're gaining by around 0.6 a lap. Behind, let's keep pushing. It's Perez ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 8.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 25 laps on their tyres. Your last lap time was a 1:21.1. Okay, so you're gaining by around 0.6 a lap. Behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 0.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 18 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:20.6. behind that front wing is going to need replacing if it takes too much damage. Tyre condition still looking good. Ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 7.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 27 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 21.2. We're gaining by around 2/10 per lap. Keep going. On the car behind by 5/10 a lap. That's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. And Verstappen's behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 22 laps on those tyres. Your last lap time was a 1:20.6. tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. We're in second place. It's Perez ahead of you. And gap to the car in front is 8.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Final lap of the race. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Checo, fantastic job today. Amazing.
Thank you, guys. Oh.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Carlos Sainz would be my first choice for this race. He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
Let's move on to the constructors. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.